Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver
Hey guys,
now.
that's where roadtoruta.com. Been a while. I know. It's July 8th. I had my birthday on the 4th. Very fun. Lots of friends and family around. Yeah, so I haven't looked into the markets in a while. I'm looking this morning. I'm like, holy crap. There's a lot going on. Although on the surface, you're like, what the hell's happening to silver? What the hell's happening to cryptos? What the hell's happening everywhere? Unless you understand that it's a rigged market, nothing makes sense. If you understand it's a rigged market 100% of the time, everything makes sense. So we'll go through that a little bit. They've been trying to get silver down below the moving averages. They are not successful as of yet. The current moving averages, the 100 and 200 day, which are the big ones. 100 days at $33.50. 200 is at $32.35. Why is this important? That's when they lose physical metal. Everything above it's just fluff. It's their computer programs trading back and forth with each other to set the price on the COMEX, which kind of leaks over into the LBMA and the Shanghai Metal Exchange. The reality of it all is it's still on computer programs. The silver won't be freely traded until a few things happen. One, the COMEX needs to shut down. It is a criminal organization run by criminals, supported by a criminal regulator who doesn't have any regulators anymore. The CFTC, I think they're down to one who's already given her notice. So what do you do? What do you do? You look for signs and clues about what's going on. Let's take one of those clues right now. The amount of physical, July is a delivery month. I was kind of pointing out it's a little odd that it's coming in half as much as it had been in the prior delivery months, but we are seeing why now. It's because the metal's not there. Not all the metal. They can't do another 80 million ounce delivery month, so they do what they can do and take little side contracts and payoffs to do the rest. And what they could do at the beginning of this month was about 30 million ounces. That's what was basically stood for delivery, 30 to 35 million ounces. But here's the problem. Now we have daily requests for metal. Every day they're saying, I need more metal, I need more metal. So the first day of deliveries for July was 5,000 contracts, and then 270, then 500 contracts. 500 contracts is 2.5 million ounces. And we just keep going down. It's like they're bleeding them dry because they didn't have it all at the beginning of the month, but they still need metal to fulfill other derivative contracts that they've written. It's crazy. You want to know who's doing the rigging? It's the same old story. It's right here in black and white on the OCC reports. On the CFTC reports and the CME clearing. These are the deliveries. It tells you right here who the criminals are. Who's doing the big numbers? JP Morgan Chase customers. Ever since JP Morgan Chase got busted for rigging the silver market, it's now JP Morgan customers, unless they get in real trouble, and then actually JP Morgan house account will come in, which they did right here with 6 million ounces. So the entire market didn't have 6 million ounces. They had to go to the quote unquote custodian of SLV to get that metal, and Jamie Dimon just grabs it, whatever he's got, and puts it over there, and he'll get it back in lease payments or he'll charge triple. So yeah, most of the market in silver is JP Morgan Chase. But there are other co-conspirators. I've been saying watch Wells Fargo. Believe it or not, Wells Fargo is again taking metal. Just like they did here. They took metal, and then they had a huge delivery of 10 million ounces back in May, which was a delivery month. So the next delivery month is September. I would expect Wells Fargo to take even more silver, and then have a big delivery in September, probably 10 to 15 million ounces, because that's when their contracts, that's when the derivatives expire. And then whoever's looking for that metal wants it back immediately. But of course, here's the real criminal this month, HSBC. How long have we been saying that name in silver rigging? Since the 1850s. Hong Kong Shanghai Bank is still the big silver rigger. They provided to be 12 million ounces just by themselves. Well, customer accounts, probably BlackRock behind it, but HSBC also runs the book for the U.S. Mint, we believe. Yes, the U.S. Mint is one of the biggest riggers out there. It's so sad to see what happened to the U.S. Mint. I don't think Trump has even picked the Mint director yet. It's just sad. Maybe he has. I haven't looked at it. I've been out of commission for a week or so. Another big a big taker, house account for Macquarie. So they delivered a massive amount, over 10 million ounces in May. They're part of the cabal, and they're taking metal. They'll probably take metal again next month, and then in September, they'll have a big delivery along with Wells Fargo and JP Morgan. September's looking like a really big month. So yeah, it's just a handful of players who take up 99% of all the trades and have the short position. All right, so what can we do about that? When will it end, Bix? When will it end? Well, it came out that FBI concludes Jeffrey Epstein had no clients, didn't blackmail anyone, and definitely killed himself. You need to understand the bigger picture if you want to know why the Trump administration is doing this. If you take down and announce the Epstein clients and the partners of Epstein, you take down JP Morgan, the largest derivative bank in the world. Everybody should know this by now. I've been screaming it forever. Screaming it. Go to Wall Street on Parade, do a search for Epstein and then a space and then a JP. You'll find all kinds of articles showing exactly why it is so important not to tell the world about what was going on with Epstein. It would destroy the largest bank on the planet, which would destroy every other, your checking account, your savings account. Your 401k would be destroyed if they said, oh my God, JP Morgan Chase was knee deep in Epstein. Knee deep, even the board of directors, business partners with Epstein. They used JP Morgan's plane to fly girls to Epstein's island. It is all about, everything now is about what's going on with Epstein and what's going on with JP Morgan and their, how much derivatives do they have? 55 trillion in derivatives right here. Total derivatives, 55 trillion as of the first quarter, 2025. How many assets does JP Morgan hold? 4.3 trillion. So in 4.3 trillion, they made side bets of 55 trillion. You take down that bank, every single bank on the planet will be closed. Every exchange will be closed. All the crypto exchanges will be closed. Probably even the DeFi ones. Will the internet even be up and running? It's a big deal. This whole Epstein thing is a big deal, so they had to lie. And it's embarrassing and it's sad. But who knows? Once we learn the truth, all of a sudden the whole system falls apart. Cliff is looking for something. Come. July 20th. Something. So here's Cliff's Twitter. So we're looking at July 20th, or we're within a few days of that, when the next iteration of the Epstein drama kicks off. It appears now that the 1310 Club is a reference to the soon-to-emerge information that majority of the kids who were blanked and then killed on Epstein's island were between 10 and 13 years old. This is not lies, people. This is dead serious, and your wealth depends on them lying about JP Morgan Chase. And Cliff is correct. And we've been talking about this for a very long time. This criminal organization, JP Morgan Chase, they're not the only ones, mind you. But they were the only banker for Bernie Madoff. They were the only banker for Jeffrey Epstein. Board of directors, senior management at JP Morgan was heavily involved. Go to Wall Street on Parade and do that search. I mean, look at some of the headlines. What did Madoff, Jeffrey Epstein, and sanctioned Russian mercenary group Wagner have all of in common? They banked at JP Morgan Chase. Jury transcript in Jeffrey Epstein case is released, raising questions about Epstein's darkest secrets being protected in JP Morgan case. It goes through the partnerships. One of Jeffrey Epstein's protectors at JP Morgan Chase was Mary Erodis, had sold 29 million of her stock in the bank since just before Epstein's arrest. 87 million buys this for JP Morgan. David Boies can't utter the words JP Morgan Chase in a Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking case. It is crazy. We all have to know this, and we all have to be prepared. Because once it comes out, the JP Morgan Chase and the senior management from the top down are all involved in Jeffrey Epstein's case, in his island, in his activities. The largest bank in the world will go down, and the largest derivative holder in the world will go down. And it's good that they go down. So just keep an eye on that. If you're interested in silver at all, that's your key. That's your trigger for the collapse of the entire financial system. And then we can move on. I know, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's all happening. It will happen on Trump's watch. At the end of the day, if Trump's on his last day, he's going to let everything go. I think he wants to do it sooner. I think he wants us to crash and be prepared for next year. Next 4th of July is his big party. Well, if we're going to throw a big party, we can't have the FBI and the DOJ lying to us about Epstein. So keep an eye on that. All right. Really exciting times at Theta, although you wouldn't know it by the price. A lot of longtime Theta people are getting very discouraged, even though Theta Labs is doing exactly what they should be doing. Exactly what they should be doing, which is build your infrastructure, build the decentralized hybrid cloud, which they're doing. I mean, the only way I'd get mad at Theta Labs right now is if they did another Katy Perry deal. It was a dumb deal. It was ridiculous. It was focusing on something that is a little side niche, if you ask me, for what Theta can do. The Theta protocol, sharing broadband, sharing your hard drive, sharing your processing power. Who gives a shit about Katy Perry? That's the NFT world. I understand NFTs. The best part about NFTs is it gives you a marker in time that you can use in contracts and things like that. It's not the Beanie Babies that get bought and sold. I know they're not Beanie Babies, and some people take them really seriously, the NFTs. But a lot of them, it's ridiculous. Yeah. And I've been saying this for a very long time. And that was all about what was going on with Katy Perry. It was the NFTs are going to be so great because we have Katy Perry. I think they sold some equity in Theta Labs, or they gave her some equity just to sign on. It's just, the whole thing was horrible, horrible decisions. But that's long gone. What are they doing now? They're deciding to get to work. Listen to what they did in June. This is shocking. The Theta ecosystem continues to develop with broad adoption across sports media, academia, and AI startups. Catch up on the latest developments in the June roundup. Edge Cloud unleashes major update with the launch of Edge Cloud Hybrid, creating a decentralized GPU marketplace for consumer and enterprise GPUs. This is all about working with Google, working with Amazon, working with Azure to create a decentralized web. It's gigantic, and they got patents for it. NBA's host Rockets celebrate the official launch of ClutchBot, their Edge Cloud AI-powered mascot. It's really, actually, these are not Beanie Baby stuff. This is sports teams that are signing up with Theta to offer something extra to their fans. An AI-powered mascot. It's brilliant. I love it. Is it a gigantic moneymaker? Probably not. Will it show the whole world the capabilities of Theta? Yeah, probably should. Will it consume Theta Fuel? Eat it up with every transaction? Absolutely. Major League Soccer's Philadelphia Union announced its plan to launch a new fan app powered by Theta. Crypto.com. Here we go. Crypto.com. Everybody's like, when Coinbase? And the guy said, hey, we got a U.S. exchange finally. Although they had Binance US, but nobody was using it. Here's the problem with Crypto.com is great. It's a fine U.S. company. Crypto.com opens up Theta and TFuel trading for U.S. users, timed with new marketing trading campaign for their millions of users. The reality is, why I like Crypto.com is they can do some staking. Imagine them running some of those booster nodes and having people have the ability to buy into someone doing the computer hardware side. I think that's coming there. But the reality of whether or not U.S. consumers of cryptos buy on Crypto.com, they don't. I mean, just you go to, look at Theta Fuel, which I think will do much better than Theta. at this ratio. It's at 20-1. Probably should be 6 or 7-1, but it's at 20-1, which is fine. It's rigged like everything else. Everything else is rigged too. But yeah, I think the Theta versus TFuel. TFuel, if TFuel price isn't high enough, people aren't going to use the network, aren't going to share the broadband, aren't going to do anything. So that's why Theta is absolutely reliant upon TFuel price being high enough to get people that actually do the work of sharing your broadband, sharing your hard drive. I'll guarantee you at $2 or $3 TFuel, yes, there will be people jumping on the chance to run an edge node or a booster node. Maybe not at 3.2 cents, 3.3 cents. And unless Theta Fuel substantially rises, Theta is not going to do much because people won't join the network. If it substantially rises, they will join. It's very simple to think about. But it's a long-term thing. And I know a lot of crypto people don't like long-term. Well, oh well. That's why a lot of crypto people chase the next shiny object. And they'll be chasing Theta Fuel, and they won't get there. It'll triple, quadruple in a day. And all of a sudden they'll say, wait, I should have held my Theta Fuel. Anyway. So yeah, that's another thing they did. What else did they do? Continued esports adoption. I was talking to a buddy this weekend about esports. I'm like, I don't get it. The video games, sports and stuff, I don't get it. He goes, it doesn't matter if you get it, Bix. In Asia, it is massive. It is massive in Asia. So keep an eye on that. But back to TFuel, why Crypto.com isn't such a huge thing. Just look at Theta Fuel markets. Where is TFuel being bought and sold? Binance, Asian exchange. Binance, Asian exchange. That's the huge chunk of the volume. But look at this. Upbit. Who's Upbit? South Korean exchange. Upbit, in singularly, the TFuel purchases, that's $2 million in the last 24 hours. Upbit, pretty much, Binance and Upbit have the most volume. But look down here. Crypto.com, $46,000 in the last 24 hours. What does that tell you? The U.S. customer isn't even involved, doesn't know anything about it. In some ways, I'm like, God, it's so frustrating that the world doesn't know this. But at the same time, it's like, that's when you want to buy assets and load up on assets and stack assets, is when the world doesn't know about it. It's just like silver. The world doesn't really know about silver. They will. When the silver rigging ends, everybody will know. And they'll try to stack, and it will become unobtainium. Same thing with Theta and TFuel. When the world knows, oh my God. We did have another little hint from Mitch Liu, who said, this guy, $30 Theta put out. Mitch Liu, please can you explain why Amazon Web Services are listed as a partner? I thought we're just a customer. We were just a customer of theirs at present. And Mitch says, this is the CEO, soon. He does it way too much. I mean, he gives little hints because he knows the potential of who knows which aspect of Theta is really going to open people's eyes, especially in the United States, that's currently doing, let's look at it again, Theta Fuel right here. Currently doing in the U.S., Crypto.com, volume of $46,000 in the last 24 hours. That's a nothing burger in the crypto world. What if we look at, let's just say, Bitcoin. What's their 24-hour volume right here? $44 billion. Bitcoin versus the $46,000 on TFuel. What if all of a sudden TFuel is the most important crypto? Will it be? I don't know. I think Theta can't survive without TFuel because TFuel is the operational token. It's the reason people join the network and share their broadband because they can earn TFuel. And every transaction, you burn a little TFuel. Anyway, we've been through this a million times. What else did Theta Labs do? Esports adoption, esports. Theta joins Ether's AI Unbundled Web3 AI Alliance. Alpha Crypto offers new trading analysis features powered by Theta Edge Cloud. Edge Cloud adds support for DeepSeek R1 LLM, that's the AI stuff. Blockjam and year's premier Theta Hackathon will happen as part of the Theta Eurocon. That's cool. So the reality is, Theta Labs is doing everything they should be doing now, finally. It's building out their product, chasing after the partners, getting entrenched into the partnerships for the future. Not for the present, no Katy Perry NFTs. Just do the work. If you build it, they will come. And more people will understand what really is going on over at Theta. And as more and more people understand, they'll try to get in. And I'm not going to sell. Are you going to sell? No. This is a hole for after the crash. Yes, there will be a crash where you won't even be able to get it. It might go to zero. Just like silver might go to zero. What happens in the crash? The exchanges shut down. They all run off fiat money. So you won't know the price of silver. You won't know the price of Theta. You want your silver for the current craziness that's about to hit. And you want TFuel and a few other cryptos for the world that happens after the crash. In my opinion, this is just me throwing out some information. But I think it's pretty good info if you ask me. Mitch keeps putting out the hints. But it doesn't mean, even if they announce, Amazon and Theta are actually, running all these edge nodes and blah, 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 it doesn't mean anybody in the U.S. is going to buy it. They only buy shiny objects. They're only going to buy if Theta fuel starts to run to $1 and Theta starts to run to 1,000, which it will. I believe it absolutely will over time. And then people will start buying. And only then should you be thinking, okay, what's another cheap asset I can buy? You want to buy when there's cheap assets. And Theta fuel at 33.3 cents, I think that's a screaming buy. And the 20-to-1 ratio will, even if it goes to 10-to-1, which I think is high still, you're doubling your money in T-Fuel that you would have made in Theta. Just my opinion, though. Anyway, for private road members, we are currently giving away 500 T-Fuel, loaded on paper wallet, sent to your front door. You don't even have to know about cryptos. It's with a 1-year private road subscription at roadtoruta.com. If you're not subscribed to our free email service, go over there to roadtoruta.com on the left side. Get your free public road updates. Put your name and email address in there, and we will be sending you almost every day except when it's my birthday week, and then I haven't done anything in like a week. But had a great time, which is good. And now I'm 61 years old. Holy crap. In cryptos, I'm like an old guy. Maybe me. It's cryptos that grade my hair, huh? Anyway, go check it out, roadtoruta.com. I'll talk to you guys later.